Alright everybody, hello and welcome as always. I am Sean, this is In The Mixer, episode 49 of our Isle of Man series and save, and I am flying through this season as quickly as I can because I just can't stop playing the game at the moment. I'm really enjoying this save. I know there's a lot of people across like the FM community and everything that have been struggling to find that save for them. There are people still playing FM18, FM19, whatever else. FM20 has been great for me because I've had this save, which I've really enjoyed. Even like the one season wonder saves we've done, which have just been a season with some of the big clubs, I've enjoyed them knowing that like I don't have to continue it beyond that season, and that's helped quite a bit. And I've really loved having this save as well because one, we've had success, and then two, just the response from everyone in the community has been fantastic. So thank you, of course, to anyone who's even watched a minute of one of these episodes. We are doing relatively well in the season. I'm going to jump into the full screen now. And as you guys can see, we're currently sitting in 4th spot in the league on 69 points. For our 40 games played, we've got 19 wins, 12 draws, and 9 losses in that time. As far as our schedule goes, we have had a relative return to form. Of course, in that last episode, we beat Oldham 5-1, a fantastic performance, before losing to 23rd place Yeovil 1-0. Which, of course, incredibly frustrating. We then beat Cheltenham 3-0, Morecambe 1-0, and then last time out, we actually drew 0-0 with Southend. That doesn't tell the whole story. For a brief period in the Southend game there, we had the opportunity to go top of the division. If we had won that game, we would have gone up onto 71 points and above Crewe. Wimbledon won their game late. They were drawing at the time. We would have gone above them as well. But we just, for a fleeting moment, had the chance to go top of the division. We do still have a few games remaining. We do still have an opportunity to catch up the 4 points that Wimbledon currently have on us. And if we look at our remaining schedule for the last 6 games of the season, you guys are going to see at least 4 of them. Tranmere today, Scunthorpe today, which is going to be huge. It'll give us a chance to leapfrog them. And then Colchester, Leyton Orient to finish the season. We'll play Wickham and Carlisle in between. Anything can happen in those games. But all of our remaining matches are very winnable. And we're definitely going to go after it a little bit. As far as the squad's concerned, the only issue we've had is Austin Samuels. He's out for 5 to 11 days. So he is going to miss probably this first game against Tranmere here. And hopefully he'll come back in time for the game against Scunthorpe. You can see David Wang will be away for that one with the Chinese national side. We have been struggling up front. So Sylvester Jasper has been filling in as the advanced forward. He's not suited to the role at all. He hasn't played particularly well at all. Manasa Mampala still working his way back from injury. He's due back to full fitness tomorrow. If he's not fit though, like he wouldn't be able to get through 90 minutes at the moment. So maybe if Jasper can do an hour, Mampala might come in, do 30 minutes and see how we go from there. And then hopefully by the second game, Samuels is back and ready to go and fire us through those last 5 games or so to get us up into the promotion spots. Or alternatively, even if we did finish 4th, I'm not going to be shattered by it. It means we have the opportunity to play off football, and worst case scenario, we stay in League 2 for another year and continue to build, continue to grow our side because we are performing so much better than I ever expected us to. Anything above and beyond playoff football at the moment will be an absolute bonus. Having said that, we can't get ahead of ourselves. It's still relatively tight. You can see we could drop back down to 5th, 6th, 7th. Even Southend, Stevenage, who we know have taken points off us this season, aren't a mile away. So if everything goes tits up, anything could happen. But otherwise, relatively happy. Let's jump straight into the game against Tranmere. We'll look at the 2 lineups. We'll see how we're doing. And we'll come up with a plan for the match before it starts. All right, so not where I said we were going to jump back, but an important place to stop as well. Goke's on his way back. He could do about 45 minutes. We're probably going to give him 30. Mampala, similar scenario, 45. We're probably going to give him 30. And it says Austin Samuels is capable, but he is still he's still like slightly injured. So I don't want to risk him. I don't want to go through that and potentially lose him for the next few games. So we're going to try and tough it out without him against Tranmere today. And hopefully it doesn't come back to bite us in the arse. Match preview, they're in fair form. We're in inconsistent form, but we do have one of the better form tables in the division at the moment. We are 1-2 favourites. They're 9-2. Weird odds. It's usually like, so in Australia, that would be $1.50 or something like that. And I think they're at like $4.50 or something crazy. I don't know. We work it out based on the payout amount, which is less fractions and therefore easier for me. As things currently stand, Doncaster have played 1 game ahead of everyone. They must have played last night on the Friday night and won that game. So they have gone above us. You can see this group is just continuing to move and change from week to week. Wimbledon have Southend, who we drew with last time out. Crewe have Stevenage, who are trying to keep their playoff hopes alive. So we will keep an eye on those games, but we're going to maintain our focus and jump into the match now. All right, they're playing a 4-2-3-1. They got McGuinness at the back, who we tried to pick up various times. That's how we know so much about his current and potential ability. When he left Arsenal, we tried to grab him. Tranmere swooped in. He's been there for a couple of seasons now, or 5 years actually. It's gone relatively quickly, but a very good player. Still 4-star potential ability, only 25 years of age. You'd think he would be getting towards, the max of his ability. They've got Rafferty Petter, an ex-Tottenham junior in midfield, 23-year-old, looks to be fairly solid. just across the board. Nothing spectacular though. Joined after the 2020 season finished and went to Tranmere. They've got Lewis Coury, who's an Australian winger who came through the Blackburn youth system. We did try and pick him up early in the year. 24 goals and 167 appearances for Tranmere. It looks to be fairly solid. And in the 10, they've got Ryan Broom, proper white hair there, 29 years old. Looks to be a very, very solid player as well. 23 goals and 150 appearances for Tranmere at this level. We're, of course, going with our 4-4-2 structure. Gennaro in goal, Bellahoon and Rooney as the central defensive partnership. Carson is still out suspended, so he's not going to play. Connolly will play on the right. We'll try and give Oyugoke half an hour at the end. Sereno at the left full-back has been excellent. Longello and Bennett are now currently our first-choice wing combination. Gilson and Roland in midfield, and Gaxa and Jasper leading the line up top in the absence of most of our strikers. Passionately, we're going to say, come on, lads, great chance to move into a promotion spot. Assertively, I have faith in everybody. And again, we're just on our positive structure. We do have the ability to escalate to our attacking one if things don't go according to plan. We have struggled a little bit against sides worse than us in this division on that attacking mentality because they're set up to counter-attack. So we'll just see how we go and kind of change things in-game. They've got a throw in here. Nice little triangle between Peta and Coury. Connolly tries to clear. Only as far as Peta. Osorio, who we didn't talk about in the build-up, has the ball at the base of midfield. Looks out wide right now to Robertson. Just stand him up, boys. Longello goes to make the tackle. Coury knocks it down for Osorio. Plays it back to Peta. They're not particularly looking for runs in behind or anything, but they have played it out left now. Lewis, the overlapping fullback. Connolly comes out to him now. Deep ball across towards Pilkington, and they've scored in the opening 10 minutes. 4th goal of the season for him. And a bit frustrating that we were a bit slow in transition there. I think it was Bennett, just defensively, a little bit lax. And then by the time Connolly gets across, the defensive line all has to shift, and he just got to hang that one back post for a 1v1 against Sereno. Just let our guard down for a split second. On the other side, you can see Longello getting back in the box and helping to defend, but Bennett can't do the same on the other side for whatever reason. They do have 3 backline players, I should say, on yellow cards, which is something to keep an eye on as the game continues. They've cleared a long ball forward here. Bellahoon should recover. Bellahoon, we've consistently struggled with him in the side, so that will probably be an area, regardless of what we do in terms of the makeup of the squad, that we have to try and improve. Got a 2v1 on the right here. Gennaro just goes straight to the fullback. Goes to the centre back every time. Bellahoon, long one forward towards Gaxa. Played out left now to Longello. He's got an overlapping runner in Sereno. Instead, he switches to the other side. Played in for Bennett. Squares it up for Jasper, who gets the strike away. It's cleared only as far as Roland. Now back to Rooney. That was the end of the highlight. Not a lot happening in it. Sereno with a very deep throw-in. Plays to Bellahoon. Just give it to a midfielder. Instead, he goes long to Gaxa, who could maybe play a reverse pass to Jasper. Instead, he goes back to Roland. Gilson with a great run. Finds Jasper front post, and all he had to do was poke that one home. Oh, it's probably one up there again amongst the misses of the season. He was about 5 yards out. All right, 30 minutes gone in the game. We're going to demand more. Everyone seems relatively focused. We need a few more highlights. Here comes one now. Swan with the ball forward from the goal kick. Coury with a flick on header to no one in particular. Ball resets through Roland in midfield. Risky crossfield ball to Bellahoon, but it looks like it's worked out. Rooney back to Bellahoon. Long one forward, not to anyone in particular. Robertson brings it down for Tranmere. Swan with the ball in goal. Long clearance should be brought down by Bennett. He's done well and skips past the challenger Coury. Wide right side, skips past the challenger the fullback, squares it up. It's cleared away by the Tranmere defence. Connolly will reset. Plays the ball in behind towards Gaxa, who gets there first and finds the finish from pretty much a dead angle. 15th goal of the season for him. Connolly gets credited with the assist. It was a good little chip ball over the top, but in reality, it's a keeper mistake here, I think. Connolly wins it down, knocks it to Roland, gets the ball back, and then just puts it into that space. The keeper comes. Great touch from Gaxa to take it around him. And then he didn't have a whole lot to aim at there with that dead angle, but he's managed to find a way to slide it home. Maybe could have squared it up for Jasper, but that's this year's match engine. That's what it does. That's who it is. 2 minutes to be added on here. No further highlights since the goal. We've had 7 shots, 4 on target, 61% possession as the referee calls halftime. 4, 3, and 39% for Tranmere. They're definitely set up to counter-attack. Passionately, we're going to say, great opportunity to show everyone their media's been right to back you up, and everyone seems to have responded positively to that. We'll give it another 15 minutes before we look at any subs. We've got those couple of guys we want to try and get some minutes into. And we also need to keep an eye on the scoreline as well. We can go to our attacking structure if we need to. Longello's won the ball back in a good spot here. Goes to strike himself from distance. Probably wasn't on. Probably could have looked to play in one of the 2 forwards. But at least we are getting back amongst it. Swan with the resulting goal kick goes long. Bennett's in the area and recovers. Plays back to Connolly. Bennett's going to recover the ball again from the defensive header from Tranmere and skips past one challenge. He's in the box now and goal side. Squares it to Gaxa, who's got his 2nd goal of the game and 16th of the season. I think it was actually a tackle from one of the Tranmere defenders. We'll check it out here in 3 dimensions. and see how it actually went down. But good work here from Bennett. I was critical of him when we conceded, but he skips past one challenge there, the winger. Then the fullback actually tackles him, and it's that tackle that squares the ball to Gaxa to block home. Keeper maybe could have done a little bit better, maybe could have smothered the ball a bit quicker. That does see us move. I nearly said move up into second spot. We immediately drop back down into third. Bennett with the ball forward to Gaxa here, who's now on a hat-trick. Roland inside to Rooney. Reverse pass towards Bellahoon. Can switch out left. Instead, he goes long. He didn't need to. Longello's going to recover the defensive header, though, and play it into space for Jasper, who gets his goal. Second goal of the season for him. We haven't quite got the production out of him that we wanted this season, given the amount that we're paying for him and given how highly he's rated as a player. But he has come up with a massive and important goal here. Longello, lovely little way to pass into space there. Jasper, with not much of an angle on his left foot, goes near post. The keeper has not been fantastic for Tranmere, really letting them down at the moment. And given that we're just about to hit 30 minutes remaining, we should make a sub relatively quickly. Longello won the ball back, but Robertson takes it away from him. Tranmere with the ball now in a wide area, looking to Osorio. Now Broom, strike from distance. Gennaro saves and holds. We've got a 2v2 up forward. We've got a 3v3 if we stick to the right. Instead, he's gone long to the left, but Longello takes a man out of it by bursting past him immediately. From the angle, can he find the finish just past far post? Would have been a wonderful goal had he found the back of the net. All right, I'm not looking to reinvent the wheel here by any stretch, but we're going to bring on Oyegoke for Connolly, who has had a good game, to be fair. We just want to get that 30 minutes in Oyegoke. We're going to bring on Mampala for Jasper as well, who has also played well. This is just about building for the next few weeks and our little run home rather than those individual performances. Balling behind for Jasper here, though. Can he square it back up? No, he's been brought back for offside. But we'll give those two players that we spoke about in the build-up, Oyegoke and Mampala, some minutes. We'll use our Get Creative shout to try and push everyone to find some more goals because goal difference might be huge this season. And looking around the ground, Scunthorpe currently 1-0 up against Chester. Wimbledon currently 2-0 up against Southend. Oyegoke with the throw in here, finds Gaxa to Roland at the top of the box. He's got time. Instead, he goes to strike himself. Only his second goal of the season. You can tell how hesitant he was there. But a wonderful, wonderful strike. He had all the time in the world to pick out his spot and send that one past the despairing keeper. Good little throw-in routine here. Gaxa to Oyegoke. Back to Roland. He had more time than I ever think he was expecting to get. And instead he just goes himself. Right hand smashes it into the left-hand corner. Wonderful, wonderful strike. And hopefully at 4-1, that should be enough to get us beyond Tranmere. We're going to use our demand more shout. Just give everyone a bit of focus through to the final whistle. I'll happily take 4-1. Just no more injuries, no more suspensions. Deep ball in. Rooney with a good header away. Oyegoke is going to get there first. Gaxa releases the ball and plays Bennett on the right-hand side. He's on 1v1. Can he find the finish? He can indeed. 5th goal of the season for him. A wonderful game from Leo Gaxa here as well. Perfect assist and 2 goals to his name. Oyegoke does very well recovering from the corner. And just good running. That's what you want to see. Your defensive line getting out as quickly as possible. We've got 3 of their players left offside. As soon as we want it back, everyone sprung into action. Everyone burst forward. And a wonderful finish on the counter-attack. 3 minutes to be added on here. We're through that now, and the referee calls full time. A 5-1 win. Gaxa with the double. Man of the match for sure. 20 shots, 13 on target, 55% possession, 12-7 at 45%. After going behind to an early goal, a very, very good performance. Passionately, I'm going to say. Very pleased with the result and your performance, boys. A lot of very big match ratings there. Gaxa actually got 2 assists. I didn't notice the second one. And that does take us to 3rd position in the league. 72 points, level with Crew, who were so far ahead of the rest of the division for such a long time. We are still 4 points behind Wimbledon, who won their game, and we are now 1 point behind Scunthorpe, who we will play in a moment. Leo Gaxa gets the Man of the Match award, a 9.6 rating, to be expected. We're going to passionately tell him he was superb in front of goal last time, and he is very happy with that. Now, even though we do have a 7-day gap, I'm still going to make use of this rest day, just to give everyone a little bit of a boost before we go back into training for the week, a bit of a reward for a good run of performances, and we will hopefully have Austin Samuels back and fit. Carson's still going to be suspended. Otherwise, though, pretty much a full lineup to choose from. Mampala can potentially go on the bench, but we'll check out who's actually fit, who's ready to go once we get to the Scunthorpe game. Magic of editing, we're to jump forward now and have a look at those 2 lineups. All right, just like that, we are a few days ahead. Only 1 change to the lineup. Samuels comes in up top. He's currently listed as being fully fit. He's got about 90% conditioning as well. Hopefully, he is ready to go, and our leading scorer for the season can finally help us through this charge to the final games of the season. Mampala still only worth about 45 minutes. They're saying Oyegoke also about 45 minutes. We're not going to try and rush them back into the lineup or do anything too crazy. Otherwise, pretty strong. I'm pretty happy with everything. It would be great to have Carson available. Bellahoon played last week and obviously got us the win as well. Probably our biggest game of the season to date. So as long as we can keep consistency in our lineup, we don't have to worry too much. They've got some very, very good players. Charlie Barks, still only 23 somehow. At Scunthorpe at the start of the game, 66 first team appearances. Looks to be an excellent player at this level. They've got George Honeyman in midfield, who's a wonderful, wonderful player. Obviously starts the game at Hull, and then he's also been at Sunderland during his formative years. Just an excellent around-the-ball midfielder. Can play on the right, can play through the middle, which is how they're using him today. They've got him alongside Matty Daly, 25-year-old Huddersfield youth player. Looks to have very good technical ability and decent other attributes as well. Harris on the right wing looks to be fairly solid. Nothing spectacular with him, but just has all the key traits that you'd be looking at in terms of like a right winger. Good dribbling, good crossing, good passing, good technique. Off the ball and work rate are quite good. Watson, their leading assist maker for the season, looks to be fairly solid as well. They're playing him on the left, which he can do. I think he's more of an inside forward on that side. Came through the Accrington Stanley youth structure before making the move this most recent off-season. They're led up top by Wilkinson, who isn't their leading scorer. That may mean that this is a rotated squad a little bit, or they're missing someone through injury, or they're struggling trying to keep everyone ready and fit on the park. He does look solid though. Good finishing, good flair, good off the ball movement. So like he's obviously going to be a decent player. Now I should go back to the right back. The captain, James Gibbon, looks to be a very good player. 15 crossing for a right back is absolutely tremendous, and definitely like a trait that you'd expect to see at a higher level, let alone in League 2 football. So they're definitely going to give us a challenge. Passionately, we're going to say, great opportunity to show everyone they were right to back you up. It worked last time. We're still on our positive structure. We can go to attacking if we need to. We've got an early goal kick here. Gennardo's going to take. Bellahoon with a long ball forward to Samuels. First involvement from him since his return from injury. Gaxa out wide right to Bennett, who skips past one challenge immediately and squares it up to Samuels. It's pinballing around. Longello gets there first to Gaxa now to Bennett. Someone take a strike. Oh my God. Just no one wanted to pull the trigger then. We had 4 men in the box to their 3. And we just couldn't work a striking opportunity. Longello with the corner towards back front post. And James Rowland, I thought it was Rooney there for a second. They've given it to Rowland. 3rd goal of the season. And a wonderful assist from Jake Rooney. We're going to check this one out in 3 dimensions. It's a fantastic start for us inside 2 minutes. Longello with the ball in. Rooney goes up. And then Rowland's already tackling before Rooney even starts heading the ball. But he gets the final touch on it to push it home from about a yard out. And we take a lead in this one. And it sees us go to 2nd spot and only 1 point behind Wimbledon in top spot. This might be the episode where we get our 2 wins. I don't want to jinx it too early. I should keep my mouth shut because we know Sports Interactive's listening. But we've got the ball again here. Bennett out wide right to Connolly. Deep ball across towards Longello. Flick on header, but just wide of the near post. I think the keeper had it covered regardless. But we are all over them early doors here. All right, we're about to hit 35 minutes. The first highlight we've seen from them, it's a corner from Honeyman. Deep one across, headed away by Rooney, only at the top of the box. And then Marco Russ, not to be confused with Marco Rouse, has found the back of the net with the first highlight we've seen for them. So they have found parity. We are going to use our demand more shout in a moment. We'll see it here. I think it's Bennett that goes to close him down. He does get goal side to be fair to him, and then he gets a little touch on it. Russell's strike was straight down the middle. Bennett's little knock there just pushed it around the keeper. Demand more for the last 10 minutes here. They've only had the 1 shot on target, but as things stand, a draw would only see us stay in 3rd position. Scunthorpe would remain in 2nd. All right, dressing room, we're going to say passionately, this is a great opportunity. We'll try that again. Let's also tell the defence, I think there's a lot more to come from you, and screw it, let's go for it. If we're going down swinging. We're going to go to our attacking mentality in the second half. Even though we have been all over them, I do think making some sort of tactical change to try and push the advantage here might help us create a little bit more space, or certainly play a little bit higher up the park. McCready with the ball in behind, Rooney with a good header. Gilson recovers in midfield, but it falls to Honeyman, who splits out left towards Watson. Just stand him up, boys. Backstick runner towards Harris, and they've found another goal. Mark Harris. Maybe I shouldn't have made that change. Should we go back to positive and see what happens? We'll check it out here in 3 dimensions. Honeyman with a good ball there, to be fair. Watson does quite well. Even then, I think it's Gilson gets goal side. Actually, Bennett tracking all the way back. And the header from Harris is straight over the head of Gennardo. Just poor defending on that far side. Serena probably didn't need to tuck in that much. Where does that leave us with about 30 minutes remaining? So we're going back to positive. We've got a couple of guys on yellow cards here. I'm going to have faith in Rowland to not do anything silly. Serena's on yellow as well, but let's go for it the other way. Let's bring on Oyegoke. Samuels has struggled. Let's bring on Mampala. And Longello's had a good game. Bennett hasn't had the best. So I'm going to bring on Jasper. We're going to go for a broke a little bit here. We're going to go passionate. I have faith in you to make a difference. And we're also going to switch it up and go to our attacking structure. Let's get creative as well. Let's go for broke, boys. We still haven't been able to get 2 wins in an episode. Maybe this is the time that we pull off like a last-minute escape or a last-minute comeback. It would see Scunthorpe go level on points with Wimbledon, albeit Wimbledon with a game in hand. Corner here, Longello to take. Go short to Jasper. Longello gets a deep one in. McCreadle hands it away. Gilson in at the top of the box. Across now to Roland. Resets through Oyegoke. Ball in behind. Keeper comes out and claims. Is that the end of the highlight here? Long ball forward towards Watson. He skips past the challenge after getting there before Oyegoke. I'm going to use my demand more shout no matter what happens here. Watson with the ball again. Deep ball across. Good header away from Bellahoon. Now Jasper is goal side. Can he find the run? Mampala to his left. He's going himself. He's in a wide left area. He gets the strike away, but it's only side netting. He didn't have a whole lot else. He might have needed to slow down there and just wait for support. Long ball forward. Rooney with a good header. Mampala with his first touch of the game. Bursts forward and strikes from distance. Could he not have played in Gaxa there? He's in great form. Maybe a player with a little bit more match sharpness would have made a better decision. Everyone seems focused after the shout, but we're through 89 minutes now. Osu with a deep ball in. Russ got there first. That was poor marking and pretty poor from the keeper as well. He should have come out. 3 minutes to be added on here. Is there any going to be late drama? Oh, for fuck's sake. We are absolutely cursed. I am now convinced that as soon as we hit record, form goes out the window. Maybe it's my fault though. Maybe I shouldn't have gone attacking at halftime. We were on top in the first half. 2-1 win for Scunthorpe. They had 8 shots, 4 on target, 46% possession, 21 shots, 7 on target, 54% of the ball. Dressing room assertively not happy, and at least everyone seems fired up. Hopefully we can keep that focus into the next few games, but it hasn't worked out quite the way we want. I shouldn't complain. We're still in the automatic promotion places. Crew do have a game in hand on us though, as do Doncaster and Wimbledon, so anything could happen. FC Old Man in disappointing collapse. We did go ahead very early. Mark Harris gets the Man of the Match award for his 1 goal. Scunthorpe have secured a playoff spot at very least. And I'm going to send my assistant along because can't be arsed dealing with the post-match press conference. All right, what does that do to our schedule? It probably doesn't change anything at all. But what I think we're effectively going to do is play the Wickham game and the Carlisle game off screen. Wickham in 22nd. We should win that one, even though most of the teams at the bottom of the division have beaten us this year. And then Carlisle in 9th will be a big contest. Then we come back and we'll play the game against Colchester. Next episode, we might just go straight into the game against Colchester. No intro, no recap, nothing like that. And then we might play the game against Leyton Orient and just see how things go, see what happens, see where we eventually finish up. Maybe there'll be a scenario where we're playing for the title on the last day. Maybe it'll already be stitched up by the time we get to those 2 games. I'm not sure. So we'll just wing it and figure out what happens as it happens tomorrow. As always, guys, thank you so much for the continued support on the channel and on the series. If you do want to go that little extra mile, you can subscribe to the channel to be kept up to date on all our future videos. You can give me a little bit of a sympathy. I just need an arm around me at the moment after throwing away another episode of recording with no 6-point games. By dropping a like on this video, it pleases the YouTube algorithm, it gets more views on the series, it does all that kind of great stuff, it grows our community a little bit as well. You can check the links over there on the side, I won't go through them, I won't bore you with it today. If you want to be kept up to date on further details for the channel, or our interactions with the community, or our live streams, or whatever else. But more than anything, thank you so much for watching. I've been Sean, and I'll see you all again in the mixer.